that thing seems to be universally liked by every baby. Like, I know it's not the cutest thing, but like, you're just gonna buy it.
You don't realize until you're building a registry that there's so many like time frames for the baby. I like cannot imagine not having it. It's probably my number one splurge recommendation if you think you're going to formula feed at all.
I feel like I registered for so many things that my son doesn't even like. You just never know.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining today. Today, we're chatting about baby registries. So real product recs, budget-friendly tips, and what's worth the splurge. We have a group of moms on the call today that have recently gone through building their baby registry and finding the best products, and also some new moms who are trying to figure out all of the things we need, like me. So let's get into the conversation. Were you guys super overwhelmed with building your registry for the first time, like I was?
Yeah, I was like so stressed that I was forgetting the most important thing, which in hindsight is not a big deal. But yes, I like obsessed over it.
How early did you guys make your registries, like during your pregnancy?
I would say I started mine in like January, February, and I was due in June. I probably didn't finish it till like closer to April when I had my shower, but I started pretty early, but I'm a planner, so.
Yeah, I started dabbling in the second trimester, but I was so overwhelmed. I really hadn't been around babies that much, to be honest. It was just like a foreign language to me. So my first step, I actually went to the Everymom's Registry Guide, and I was like, I don't even know what the categories are I need besides feeding and diapers. So it was all just like a totally different language. But I think starting a little bit early in the second trimester helped me with peace of mind, where I just slowly added, and then I did more research, and then I removed, and then I added. So it was a work in progress for a while.
I was the same kind of. I like just started a little bit earlier, but like Megan, I'm a bit of a planner. So I was like, I need to get this all done ASAP because I'm running out of time. And I think I did it in October, and he was born in February. So
It depends on like if you're having a shower or like,
yeah.
In my experience, even like way before my shower, people were asking me for a registry. Like, have you started it? Are you like adding stuff? And I was no, but I guess I will now if people are like looking for things or ideas or.
Yeah, and there's so much like research that goes into every product, it feels like. And then I was hearing from other moms, they're like, oh yeah, my baby hated being carried, so don't get a carrier. You don't know if they're going to like it, or they might like this, or they might not like this. So it's like, do I even do this now? Or do I wait and just get some essentials?
That's so real. I feel like I registered for so many things that my son doesn't even like. Like he doesn't use. Like he's allergic to the diapers. We got all one brand of diaper, and he literally broke out in rashes. I was like, cool, okay. And it wasn't a rash, so you just never know.
Yeah, there's some items I'm just waiting on. I'm like, I'm gonna just see what he's like as a baby, and then I'll do a quick rush on that. It was like interesting too, because you don't realize until you're building a registry that there's so many like time frames for the baby. Like it's just a newborn phase, and then you have a 3-month phase, and then they'll be using different stuff. So do I get all of it now, or do I wait for some of it?
But it's hard. I feel like so many people have said to me, like, make sure to consider like stuff you might want at 9 months, a year. Like people were telling me to register for like little walkers and like things. Like I am like, I can't even comprehend the like little newborn I'm about to have, let alone like a 9-month-old or 1 year old.
Like, what do you mean shoes? They're not going to wear shoes for a long time.
I know. Even like a high chair, which is like such a registry staple item, I feel like, and we did register for, like even that, I'm like, I guess I can store this somewhere else. I don't need to put it together until like a couple months down the line.
Yeah, I did not register for a high chair because I just felt like ridiculous registering for this like piece of furniture that I wasn't going to use for 6 months. But looking back, I'm like, maybe it would have been a good idea, because then when my daughter turned like 5.5 months, I was like, oh my God, I need a high chair like now. But it does feel ridiculous to be like, oh, let me get some like spoons and forks and like knowing that we're so far away from that.
Yeah, Cassie, maybe if you don't like formally register or anyone buys that stuff now, maybe just keep a running list of like the things that you might need. So at least then when you're like panic Amazon buying
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
Like, you'll have your list like ready to go.
Yeah.
Like, just
Good
save
point.
the TikTok videos in a folder to like
Yeah.
refer back to. I definitely did that.
Honestly, the TikTok videos were so helpful with the registry, like the ones where it was basically like 5 essentials you have to have for your newborns. Okay, I can start there. 5 is easy. We can do this.
And the like reviews or comparisons of different products, like there's so many versions of the same thing. So even if you dial in on like, okay, I want breast pump, like there's 8 million breast pumps. Like which one do I
Yeah.
want? Like, or should I get? Like, I don't know. It's a little overwhelming. Like the list in and of itself is an overwhelming amount of stuff, or at least I found it to be. But then dialing in on like which version of this thing is the best one and the most popular one.
Yeah, because the variation's like so slight on all of them.
I would love to go back a little bit and ask everyone on the call what website you use to register for. I personally use Babylist, or I'm still using Babylist. And at least Babylist has like helpful, they guided me through the setting up of the registry with like a checklist. And that was helpful because I don't know what I don't know. So there were a lot of like product categories that they suggested. But curious if anyone used a different one. I know Babylist is pretty popular.
I use Babylist for the same reason. The categories were great. So I found it super helpful.
Yeah, same. I did Babylist, and then between their checklist and the Everymom's Registry Awards, I felt like I was like, okay, I have a complete picture here. And even just seeing the checklist being like, okay, I don't need that. So I won't put that on there, but at least I've thought about it. Was helpful.
Yeah, same. I also used Babylist, and I started with the checklist because I, like everybody, had no idea what I was doing or what I wanted. And I actually built most of it based off that, but then I would like find cuter versions. Like there was like a bouncer, and I was like, I don't like this one, but now I know I need a bouncer, so I'm gonna go look for a bouncer that I do like. And looking back, I probably should have done more research on like functionality and everything, but I literally was just like, what's the cutest?
Yeah.
That's what I want. Like I didn't register for a single toy because I thought they were all ugly. And now I've bought all the ugly toys myself.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I
I just
actually
don't have
need
any,
them. Yeah, I just like started staring at him when he wanted to be entertained, and I was like, I don't know what to do with you. Maybe I need all those toys.
But you do need the rainbow piano. Like,
Yes.
is what it is.
The rainbow piano is in my living room currently, and I look at it every day and I think, oh God, that's the ugliest thing I've ever seen, but whatever. I can sing all the songs now.
But that seems to be like a universally, like we were just saying, like you never know what your baby's gonna like. That thing seems to be universally liked by every baby. Like I've heard from everybody, like, I know it's not the cutest thing, but like you're just gonna buy it.
You need it.
Really? How old are they when they start using it?
Like 2 months, 3 months.
Amazing. Okay.
Maybe
know.
even earlier. But yeah, Miller would just lay on it for like 30 minutes, like fully entertained, like to eat dinner. It was great.
It helps with tummy time too, because like the lights, when the piano's going off, like the lights is like for them, and then they start like poking at it. When they get a little bit bigger, then you can roll them over and they're still like batting at the, what is that? The arch thing. I don't know. It works. You should get it.
One like big blind spot for me in terms of the registry was clothing. And I feel like there are so many different pieces of advice and points of view on like baby clothes. Like I don't know about you, Cassie, but since I've like been expecting, I've heard like, don't register for so many newborn clothing items. But then the people who did are like, they never fit in them. And then we need bigger stuff. Like there's so many different rules of thinking. So I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then give you clothes regardless of what you register for. So the whole like clothing section of the registry, I was like, I don't really know what to do with it.
Yeah, that one was another one too where I didn't register for that much because I was overwhelmed. I was like, between the months, I'm like, I don't really know how much clothes they go through or how long they wear them and how much I need for each month. I still don't really know. So I feel like I just have a lot of onesies and then I'm going to figure it out again. But I just kept hearing like the double zip. And then now there's like a magnetic version that I keep hearing about. So I just have so many onesies. But then when baby needs actual clothes, I have nothing.
The quantity is a good point too. And maybe Megan, you can fill us expecting moms in, and Kira too. Like, how many of each item do we need?
I spent like so much time picking out clothes for my registry, like the cutest pajamas, the cutest little like onesies and rompers. And like, honestly, nobody bought any clothing off the registry. And people opted for like more functional gift. So I would not have spent so much time picking out clothes. And then they do just spend so much of those first few months like in a onesie or in pajamas. So that's like all you really need. And I would say like get one or two of like a couple different brands and see what you like, because they all fit differently. Like the sizing is different between different brands. So don't like go all in on one brand or even one type of clothing, because you don't know what you're going to prefer.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I will say the ribbed stuff from Old Navy is the best. And I still buy all of that, like the onesies, the zipper pajamas. And now like she's wearing the pants and the separates for sleep. But all of the Old Navy stuff has been amazing. And we've used it since day one.
It like wears well over time too.
Yep. Like washes well. They have like a ton of different colors. It's super stretchy. So it like fits for longer than some other brands, which is nice because they do grow so fast.
And I feel like for the price, like to know like they're comfy, cozy, and the longevity is there, like that's really helpful. Like those are
it's like $10 instead of like 30 or 40 for the like bamboo amazing one. Sure, nice too, but
sometimes an Old Navy basic is all you need.
The best.
Babies use the sleep sacks already?
We used a swaddle. No, we couldn't anymore. So she does sleep in a sleep sack now, but we did like the full Velcro, like mummy swaddle for the first few months. And I did register for sleep sacks that by the time she was sleeping in a sleep sack, they were too small. So I probably could have waited on.
My son is supposed to be in a sleep sack right now, but we're in the 4-month sleep regression. So he's in this like yellow mummy suit thing. I don't know what it's called.
Is that the Merlin?
Yes. Yeah.
Gosh, Miller loved that.
I had
That's
to
how we got out of this bottle.
Yeah, that was like the only way he would sleep. So I had to get it off Facebook because they don't like sell it anymore. So
oh, really? I feel like that's like such a popular item.
I don't know, but we couldn't find it. So I just got it off Facebook. Plus, Facebook has everything you could ever need, at least in my area. Like anything I ever wanted to buy, I would look on Facebook first. And it's on Facebook Marketplace. I'm like, I'm just going to get that because he's going to grow out of it in like 3 months. So whatever.
I was surprised when I was making my Babylist registry, or surprised and delighted that they had like a open to secondhand option. Did you notice that? I thought that was cool because like I have been exploring Facebook Marketplace too for like random things. And I have heard from so many people and I'm seeing on Marketplace, like so many people trying to get rid of things that they're like, we literally never even use this. That's a great tip, Kira, to like look at your local group before you buy something new if you are down with that, because there's a lot out there.
Totally. And like they go through clothes so quick, they go through developmental like toys and things like a swing, like they can't use that forever, or a bouncer, etc. So it all truly, it's like such a quick phase and then you're on to the next thing. And I feel like the only piece of like baby gear that they don't grow out of super quick is like their stroller. So like if you're trying to figure out like what do I splurge on, that's probably like the longest lasting thing, as long as you're getting one that has like the infant and the seat.
Yeah. I would love to talk about strollers. Can we talk about strollers? Because
let's do it.
There are so many. Cassie, did you register for a stroller?
I was overwhelmed, of course, and I just got the Duna. I did a little bit of research, but honestly, my research came from seeing people. Like every time I was out and I saw someone with something, I was like, okay, what is that? And then I just saw enough people where they were like putting it down and into the car. I was like, okay, that seems like it'll get us through however long we need. And then if we need to upgrade to like a bigger one. Do either of you have the Duna?
I do. Yeah. We used it when we took him to England. When he was 4 months old. So when we were like, what stroller do we get? We knew we were going on this trip. And honestly, that's all we were thinking about throughout his whole first 3 months of life, is like this dooming trip that we have coming up. How are we going to get through that? And so we registered with the intention of like, that will be easy for us to take with us and pop in like the rental car and etc. And it definitely was. My son has reflux, and so the actual like positioning of the doona isn't his favorite
Little
because
back,
it does.
right?
Yeah, it's a little bit like leaned back and like the angle he doesn't love, but it's got us through that trip and it is so convenient. Like I love it. But for his sake, we have like switched to like a more traditional stroller, which is fine. But I do semi regret not like getting a nicer stroller from there.
Yeah, I got I had the Up a Baby Vista with the like car seat that clipped into it. It is like big and bulky, so it's not like travel friendly. I ended up getting a separate travel stroller when we traveled with her for the first time. And honestly, now we also have a jogging stroller. So you just end up with a lot of strollers. And I'm like, why does one baby need a stroller?
This was one piece of like seasoned mom advice working on the Everymom team that someone gave me along the way that has really stuck with me. Like even long before I was expecting, someone on our team said that like when you go into new motherhood and like making your registry or buying items, you tend to think that like the stroller is a big ticket item, which it is, and you will pick like the best one or the one that works best for you, and it's expensive and it's like it is the stroller that will do all the things for all the things you need, and it's the one stroller you buy. And this coworker was like, that's the biggest myth of motherhood. You will buy multiple strollers. So like when you pick it for all different needs, like a travel one, a jogging one, then a double stroller, then you have another kid and you want like a double travel stroller, like inevitably you will end up with more than one stroller. So keep that in mind and just like choose accordingly or choose like to the best. And that stuck with me because I had never really heard that. And I feel like everyone does register for like the one that they think will do the things. And I just have always kept that in mind. So I registered for two. I registered for the Doona, travel, just like eased.
Like,
Yeah, just like all the things. And then we went with the Mockingbird, which I really like struggled with choosing between the Up a Baby because I feel like everyone has that, or the Mockingbird. But functionality wise, they seem really similar. And Mockingbird is like half the price. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to get two strollers, the price of one with the Up a Baby. And I haven't used either yet, obviously, but hopefully combo will be nice.
Yeah, that's really smart because now basically I use the Up a Baby to like go on walks around the neighborhood, or if we're like going to a park or the zoo or something like that, I'll bring that stroller. But otherwise, I just have my travel stroller in the car, and that's what we use all the time. It's nice to have options. I feel like we have to quickly talk about just how ridiculous all of the names of all of these companies are. And we're like speaking another language, like have the Up or the Tuna or the Nuna or the Bugaboo. And it's like, we sound crazy to anyone who's
all made up words. And what's even funnier is the people who like there were like older aunts and uncles, people that are like not so familiar with these newer items are constantly telling me like, oh, I saw this on your registry and I bought it for you, but they're like calling things all the wrong names.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
Just like, I don't exactly know what you're talking about. You're like that you're buying me, but like I will love it, whatever it is.
My mother-in-law still calls the snooze, which like
makes sense.
Kira, I had a question back to the Doona for 5 seconds. I had a question about the Doona. Did you use that as like your primary car seat and like the car seat you took the baby home from the hospital in? Because that's my plan. And I'm like, is that okay to be like the only car seat?
Yeah, that is what we used up until like literally a month ago. And my son was pretty small, so it wasn't an issue. I will say if you have a Miller baby, I could see an issue with it because it's like a smaller stroller, like vertically and horizontally, it's a lot smaller. Obviously, if you're using it like straight from the hospital, you have a newborn, they're going to be small enough for it. But I didn't think about like how quickly he would grow out of it. So yes, we used it as the primary like car seat stroller. We used the base with it though. And the only time we didn't have the base is when I drove him, which was like maybe 5 times. Like I went to coffee with Megan and I didn't have the base. I used the seatbelt and situations like that. But usually we use my husband's car. So we just pop it on the base. It's the same pretty much safety as any other car seat. So
okay, that's helpful to know. But that seems like the answer for like any item is like you use it for a time until then you need something else and then you just figure it out. Did you guys register for like a lot of nursery items like the crib, a glider, a changing table? Like what do you
did a lot of hand-me-downs for the nursery, actually, where I just like refurbished. And then the main thing was the crib and one other piece of furniture, but then everything else I was able to repurpose, which was great. Yeah, just like repainted the dresser that the changing pad's going to go on. I had a glider from my grandpa that I just reupholstered, and the crib was like the only new thing, which won't even be used for a while. But
Yeah.
even the like functionality of the cribs, I was like, do I buy like a really basic one? Do I buy one that converts? Like I didn't really know what to get. They all seem nice.
The only like nursery thing I registered for was the monitor. Everything else I got just on my own, or like I used the dresser from my bedroom and just moved it into hers. So, but I did find a crib that was on clearance that had a toddler rail. And so I went ahead and bought the toddler rail. So I have that, but obviously like she's 13 months now and we're still not using that.
yeah, I did that too, where the crib I wanted to make it last as long as possible. So I got the conversion. Yeah.
Yeah, I only bought the crib as well, but we got that gifted. And then also the glider, which was like my big ticket item for his room, because his room is like a den that we made into a room. And so it's a really small room, which is great for a baby or a kid because that's all they need. But it means there's like not much area for anything. And so I wanted one thing that was like really fun in the room. And that was the glider for me. So I was like, please, someone buy this. And then my in-laws, because I was like, this is the big thing I want. They were like, okay, that's what we'll get you guys. So
It's the gingham one, right?
yeah, I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
Really
Thank
cute.
I've asked you a couple questions about Akira, but it's like comfy. It's
Yeah.
the recliner's good. Like you're liking it.
Yeah, I don't have the one that like reclines. It just does it recline. It doesn't like it like bounces. Like it's not
Okay.
like the full like legs out situation. But honestly, I care more about how things look than how they function. And so when I was picking it, I was like, that one's better looking. So I'm gonna get that one. And it's cheaper. And now I'm like, probably would have been nice to have somewhere to put my feet up. But honestly, like I'm not breastfeeding. And so I'm never like in that chair for like an hour with my feet up. I'm usually in there like rocking him or reading to him. And so like there's not a situation where I've missed that.
Yeah, people have like almost intimidated me by saying like you will spend so much time in this glider, like pick a really good one. And I'm like, okay, there's like 1,000 options. I actually ended up, my parents are gifting us the one you got, Kira, the gingham one. And I kept saying to my mom, first of all, my mom was like, I think this is a really good one. It looks really comfy. Like Kira has it. She loves it. My mom's like, you literally had a wooden rocking chair. So like any of these options look way more comfy than that. And like, you can't go wrong, I don't think, with any of these like actual chair options, but it's really cute, the gingham, but I hope it's comfy and good. I've heard good
Yeah.
things.
I love it. It's more comfortable than our couch. So hopefully that says something. We have a good couch too. So I think it's super comfy.
Megan, what monitor did you go with?
We got the Nanit, which I really like. We still use it every day, multiple times a day. We always have it up. So, but I didn't use like the breathing band or like the extra features. Like we just use it as a camera. But I have that, and I got a travel stand. So whenever we go on a trip, I can bring that with me and still use it. So I've really liked having it.
Did you guys use it when you were using a bassinet, or just in the? You used it too.
Yeah, I used the travel stand and like clipped it on. So, and it was really nice because we had her in our room, but I could like from bed look on my phone like, okay, do I need to get up? Do I help her? Or is like this just the weird newborn sleeping sounds that they make?
That's good to know.
I was going to ask you that question specifically about the travel kit because I got that as well, like thinking for literal travel, that would be nice. I know you can get the freestanding like stand for the Nanit camera. We got like the wall mounted one, and I was like, if we mount this, then what are we using? Like, do you need
The camera like pops up.
Okay.
And I actually found, I'll send you the link, but I found a little thing on Etsy that will like clip the travel stand to a bassinet or like to a pack and play.
Oh, nice.
So
Said that. Yeah.
yeah, which has been amazing because otherwise it has to like sit on something. And we didn't have the right surface in our room for that. So the little clip has been really handy.
I feel like the Nanon is a perfect example of like so many people have it, people rave about it. So I just like added it to the registry. I think Babylist might have suggested it too. But I'm not like thinking through the actual like functionality. So then I'm like, we got the bassinet. I'm like, wait, so do you need a separate camera for the bassinet? Like, you know,
Same.
these questions I have. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
No, the Nanot's expensive. It's good, but it's expensive. So just use that everywhere if you can. No matter what you register for, you're going to be panic ordering things on Amazon every night at 3 a.m. And like, that's fine. It's just, that's what it is. And so a registry is important, but it's not like make or break.
Babylist has some of those cool like they're not really sample boxes, I guess, but like the bottle box that has like 5 different bottles.
Yeah.
For a couple of those because I got that good advice of like, don't
Yeah.
go all in on like one diaper brand, one bottle brand, like try stuff out because they'll inevitably gravitate towards one or two. I don't know. Now I have like an assortment of random bottles though.
Yeah. Have you noticed with your babies that they do have like a particular bottle that they like? And okay.
Definitely. But part of it's also like your personal preference. Like some of the bottles we tried like would leak everywhere. Like she would drink out of it fine, but they were super messy or they were like a huge pain to get clean because they had too many little parts. So it is like, what's your baby going to like? But it's also like, what are you going to like doing and using? So having those options to try is really helpful.
I feel like the feeding category on the registry is like a whole thing. And we've talked about high chairs and some of the like actual like food, like silverware and little plates and stuff items down the line. But I love to hear, especially from the seasoned moms, about like any of the feeding gadgets, like the baby Brezza formula maker. I feel like you see that everywhere. The bottle washers. Like, do we need these things? Like, what?
I knew before having her that I was at least going to partially formula feed. And so we did get the baby Brezza and I like cannot imagine not having it. It has been just like such a lifesaver. It's probably my number one splurge recommendation if you think you're going to formula feed at all. It's just so much more convenient than hand mixing a bottle. Like the first time I had to make a bottle by hand, I was like, wait, this is so hard. Like it's hard to get it to like mix properly and you have to measure it and then the temperature is not right. And so to just be able to like push a button and get my little 4-ounce bottle at body temperature in like 10 seconds is a game changer when you're like feeding a newborn in the middle of the night.
We also had that. We were doing like combo, so I didn't use it actually enough to justify it. So I ended up selling it because I was able to up my supply enough that he wasn't on formula for a little bit. But now that he's bigger and I've sold it, I'm like so mad at myself because I am in the same boat I was when I got it, where I'm not making enough for him. So we're needing to use formula to supplement, and now I'm like mixing bottles and also pumping and also cleaning everything. It's like just the biggest duty.
Kira, I'll give you mine. We're done with it.
Actually,
I want it back, but yes.
right. I also have the baby Brezza like cleaning machine, like the little dishwasher thing. And that has been absolutely amazing as well. I would say those are my top 2 like recommendations. I didn't think we would need that, but I was like, we can just use the dishwasher. It'll be fine. Hand wash. However, what I didn't take into account is you would have to run your dishwasher. You'd either have to have so many bottles that you can have a whole day and then run them all at night, which we didn't have, or you'd have to run your dishwasher multiple times a day. And if you're pumping, you have to run it for your pump parts. So literally that like bottle machine washer runs all day in our house. And I love that it's separate from our stuff so that it's like no matter what we're doing dinner wise, I always know like his stuff's clean at least.
Okay, that is super helpful though, because I registered for both and I was gifted the formula maker. And then I like, once I had it in my possession and I didn't even buy it, like someone was so nice to buy it for us, I was like, is this so unnecessary? Like I was feeling guilty about the cost and like another gadget because I would like to combo feed. So then I was like, if I'm not only formula feeding, like, is this just like really not necessary? And I can like, and then you talk to people and inevitably somebody older who didn't have such a gadget is like, what's so hard about shaking together some bottles and mixing it up? Like, everyone has something to say. So I'm like, okay, is this like,
No,
it's not ridiculous. It's amazing. And like, then anybody can make them a bottle and that it's going to be made the same way. So like if my mother-in-law was here, or now that we have a nanny that helps during the day, like it's super easy for her to just mix a bottle. I don't have to worry about like, is the proportion right? Is the temperature right? Like it's just consistent.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, because literally like yesterday, my dad was like, he overheated a bottle and he was like, what's the big deal? Just add more water to it. And I was like, you raised 3 children. You can't just add more water to wash. Not to blast my dad, but like they forget. And like,
it's been a while, Kira.
So it's easy for people to like problem solve in the wrong way, because babies are unique and they have unique needs that we don't have as adults with fully functioning digestive systems.
Yeah.
I was just going to say the baby Brezza sterilizer, if you are going to do anything outside of like bottles, so like pump parts, anything like that, I will say it's like a Tetris game to get everything in there, because the lid like goes over everything. Whereas other bottle cleaners and sterilizers I've seen where you just drop everything in looks way easier. So if I could do it again, I don't know if I'd go with the same brand, but I would definitely recommend like a washer sterilizer system of some sort.
I have another nursery specific question, because my husband and I were just going back and forth about this from a utility perspective. I guess there was a miscommunication, because I want to get a dresser and I registered for the Kikaroo changing pad. We got it, which it sounds like is what you're doing, Cassie, like a combo like that. And he was like, oh, I thought for sure we'd get a separate changing table. And I'm like, does anyone get those anymore? And am I missing out on like the functionality of a separate changing table from a dresser? Do either of you have?
Just because the room isn't that big, I just figured I would put it on the dresser to save space, so then I can use that. And then I got like a little 3-tiered thing that keeps all my diapers. It'll keep like the diapers and the diaper cream. But I did that just so that I'm not taking up that much space, because there's really not that much room in the nursery. But then actually, this is another question too, because I got 2 changing pads, one for our room, just for the newborn stays, which I don't know if that's necessary or not, but I think
like a more soft one.
Yeah, like I accidentally doubled up on the registry on changing pads, and I was like, I guess I'll have 2. I feel like it doesn't hurt in the middle of the night to have it in our bedroom.
Yeah, I use the Kikaroo on top of a dresser in her nursery, mostly for space reasons, and also like I just use the top 2 drawers of the dresser for diapers and diaper cream and burp cloths and stuff. So I didn't really see the need for a changing table. And I did have 2 changing pads too. And we did like one upstairs in her nursery and one upstairs, because like we just spend so much time downstairs. I didn't want to especially postpartum, walk up and downstairs to change her diaper. So it was nice to just have one that we could roll out downstairs. Yeah. And the dresser is something that they can stay in their room for a long time. So like pieces of furniture are not cheap. So it might as well be something that you can use for a long time.
Yeah. Never know with these things. And then somebody tells you something that like throws you for a loop, because I'm like, wait, I did not consider that.
Yeah. And just take everything with a grain of salt, because you'll hear like advice from us or anyone, and then the next day you'll hear something that's totally contradictory, and you just have to figure it out for yourself. And like no decision you make is going to be a bad decision.
Yeah. That's probably just advice I need for motherhood as a whole. Like,
it's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be fine.
Yeah. Okay, as we wrap things up a little bit, I want to know like biggest and best nursery splurge that like you can't live without, and maybe something on your registry that you thought you would really need and like haven't used or could be skipped by someone making a registry.
So my biggest thing that we splurged on is, we didn't splurge on it, but someone else bought it for us, is the glider. I know I mentioned it before, but I just like it mainly because it makes me happy. And when you're postpartum and you're a new mom, anything that makes you happy is worth it. So that is it for me. And then the one thing that we registered for that we didn't need, and this is like probably a little controversial, is I would say like a bassinet isn't needed in my opinion because it only lasts for so long. We started like napping our son in his crib in the day just because I work in our room. He can't nap here. And we figured out that he like sleeps better in the crib because his hands don't touch the side of the bassinet. And he'll be 5 months tomorrow, but that's like a really short amount of time. I wish we had just got a pack and play because then we can keep it for like until he's 2 years old, because when they're so little, it doesn't matter as much where they're sleeping as long as it's safe. They'll sleep a lot better than when they're a little bit older. Whereas like now we have to get another crib. Like his crib's currently in our room. So there's no crib in his room. It's a mess. So now we have to get another crib for his room to nap. So we've been lugging this in and out of our room every day because he doesn't fit in his bassinet without scratching the sides, and then he wakes up. So anyways.
But these are the logistical things that I would not think about until you're in it. Megan, did you used a bassinet, I'm assuming?
Yes. So we got a hand-me-down snoo from a family member that had used it for her kids and then wasn't using it anymore. So that we had that in our room for the first few months. And Miller's been a great sleeper since day one. And I don't want to say that it's because of the snoo, but both of those things exist. We used the snoo and she was a great sleeper. At first I was like really nervous about using the like rocking feature because it felt like my tiny infant like in this thing that's moving, like it just felt scary. But eventually like I was like in bed, like, yes, just start rocking her, like great.
Because you can do it. Can you do it from your phone?
Yeah, you can like
You
change
literally were like, soothe her.
Yeah. If that's in your budget, I think like that it worked really well for us and we will use it again if we choose to have another. But I do think you don't need any of these things. The things you need are like a comfortable chair. You need a monitor if that's your vibe. So those are the two like nursery things that I would spend money on again, or a chair and a monitor.
Was there anything on either of your registries that you were like, never used it, don't need it?
I registered for like the nice like kite baby sleep sacks because I wanted her to have them and they were so soft. And then, like I said, by the time she was sleeping in a sleep sack, they were too small. And so I definitely regret some of those things because you don't know like how big they're going to be, what they're going to like sleeping in, what the weather is going to be like when they're that size and sleeping that way. And so there's just no point trying to plan too far ahead for some of those like smaller things like a sleep sack.
I feel like the only thing for us was the diaper situation, which is just a good lesson. Like never go all in on one brand until you at least met your child. So like you just don't know what their preferences are going to be. So yeah, that was the biggest thing for us.
Yeah, you guys already know my hot take, but Pampers are for skinny babies. And so we got a ton of Pampers and they just did not work for us. So get a variety, find out what fits them best. It's like shopping for jean shorts when you're an adult. Yep. Like you just don't know what's going to fit.
I registered for Pampers before you even told me that, Megan. And I'm like, we'll see.
They still work. But they just weren't like the most comfortable.
You just truly have no idea. And even the doctors like estimating your baby's size in utero, I feel like those are like wildly.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
You really don't know until they're born what you're working with in terms of size, and you just adjust accordingly.
Yeah. No, according to my doctor, like my baby was going to be like 12 pounds when she was born. And I was like, this cannot be true. Like today, why are we not doing something about this now?
How big was she when she was born?
8 pounds, 9 ounces. So like bigger.
Cassie, is there anything on your registry that you're either hoping to get or have already received that you're like super excited about?
I would say like last minute, I was like, oh my gosh, she has nothing fun. He has no fun things. So I added just like, because I had my shower with like my friends and then my family at my hometown. And then I have a bunch of family in Long Beach, California, where I'm having a separate auntie shower. And I was like, I'm just going to register for fun things. So just like books and like the little play sets they have. So not big items, but I'm most excited about those because like those are the things he gets to just interact with.
That's a cute. I like that approach of like, you need the practical things, but we also
Yeah.
things.
Like so excited to read him books. And like all these books are books that I read, and it's so fun to see them again. And it was such an afterthought. And I was like, oh, he has nothing in his nursery that's like kid related, really. It's all function. So
I think for me, if I'm going to answer my own question, I'm feeling good and excited about the stroller combo. And it sounds ridiculous to even have 2 strollers from the get-go, but I think the utility of the Duna versus like what you were saying, Megan, like having a bigger stroller, like we have the bassinet attachment with the mockingbird. I'm excited for like fall walks with a newborn, and then have an option for travel like around the holidays and using that as our car seat. So feel good about the combo.
Yeah, that sounds like a good balance. Then you'll like have all your bases covered.
If any of our listeners have any questions or registry items that they'd love to chime in and talk to us about, please comment below. We would love to hear from you. For our listeners, all of the products that we mentioned in today's chat will be linked in our description of the video below. For more registry recommendations, products, tips, and hacks, check out theeverymom.com and follow us on Instagram at theeverymom. And also check out our 2025 Registry Awards on the Everymom site for all the help you need. I don't know what I'm saying that last part. Check out the Registry Awards.